Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this week's video is going to be me talking about the week following my root canal, and I actually had 2 root canals. So my last video was me talking about actually getting the root canals. So I will link that video down below if you haven't seen it yet, so you can go check that out before watching this. And this is what happened after my root canals the following week. So let's jump into the story. So I got my root canals on Friday, February 1st. So it's been over 2 weeks now since I got it. So that Friday, once I got home, I probably got home around 2. I was still like fully numb from the root canals. I had one on the top and one on the bottom, right in the front of my mouth. So I was numb from about like here to here, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like a very weird feeling, even though I've gotten fillings before where I have been numb. I just like don't really like the feeling. So I went to the pharmacy and picked up some prescriptions they had written for me. And got a couple of other things that I needed. Like they said I needed yogurt for the probiotics and everything. So I grabbed some yogurts, and then I came home, probably got home, like I said, around 2:30. I took a nap. I think I slept until like 5, because it was, I think I set my alarm for like 4, but honestly, like I didn't have work the next day, like it was a Friday, so it really didn't matter. So I slept till like 5, or maybe 6, I don't even know. I slept like for a long time though, a few hours. So I got up and I wanted to start taking the clindamycin, but then I talked to my boyfriend Joey, who's a medical assistant, and I was supposed to get blood work done the next day, and it was like a fasting blood work. So if I started taking the clindamycin, it would have like affected the blood work results. So I was like, okay, I won't take it. But my mouth like started hurting pretty bad. So they had written me 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So I was like, I need to take one. Like my mouth, it was like really starting to hurt me bad. So Joey was like, alright, like it's gonna affect the blood work. Like it's gonna make it look like your liver's been like taxed. And I was like, I don't really care. I'll just tell them I was on like ibuprofen. Like I need to take one. So I took one, like I had some dinner, and fortunately that night I was making raviolis anyway, because they told me I needed to eat like soft foods or foods I could cut with like a fork and a knife and chew in like the back of my mouth, because the teeth were both like in the front, so I couldn't like bite into anything, like it was only like fork and knife foods. So I took an ibuprofen and I was fine. Then I didn't take one for the rest of the night, and I started fasting at 8 p.m. so that at 8 a.m. the next morning I could go get my blood work done. So I went to bed, I was fine. I woke up at like 2:45 in the morning, and my mouth was hurting so bad. Like it woke me up out of a dead sleep. I was in so much pain. So I was like, I can either make eggs and eat some eggs, so I could take ibuprofen because I'm not taking it on an empty stomach, or I can just like suffer all night, get my blood work done at 8 a.m. and then eat something at like 8:39 for the pain. But it was so bad that I just, like, I had to make the eggs. I was like, whatever, I could always like get the blood work done another time. It wasn't even like a mandatory thing. Like my doctor just wanted to like recheck my blood work. So I was like, this isn't even like mandatory, like I'm just gonna like pass and like take care of myself, because like I've never had like tooth pain like that. Like it was unbearable. So I took the ibuprofen, like made some eggs, took the ibuprofen, and then went back to bed for a few hours. Woke up Saturday in pain, was like crying. I was supposed to like go to my aunt's house to visit her and then go to a paint night with my mom that night, and I just stayed in bed all day. I was like crying. I was trying to get like a stronger prescription from the dentist's office, and They wouldn't write me anything, so it was just like a bad situation. So Joey works with a PA, a physician's assistant, so she's had like experience with like root canals before, and I have like an abscess on the top one, and he was talking to her, like seeing if he could get any advice as to like what I could do, and she was saying like abscess pains are one of like the worst pains you could have, and I was literally like crying because of how bad it hurt, and like the ibuprofen that I was taking would wear off after like 4 or 5 hours, meaning I had to wait like 3 to 4 hours before I could take another one. And she was like, no, don't do that, like if the pain starts up again, like take an ibuprofen, like don't wait and just like be in pain. So I started taking them like, I think Saturday I took like 4 or 5, like probably like 4 in like a day, because I was just taking them like every 4 hours because of the pain. So Saturday was like horrible. Sunday, it started getting a little better, but it was still pretty bad. And I was like, if I'm still not feeling okay by Monday, like I'm calling out. Like this is ridiculous, and I'm not like taking care of kids with like this horrible mouth pain. And like I was barely eating, like it was just bad because it just hurt. Like I was only eating so I could take my medicine, which was ibuprofen. And then I also had to take a clindamycin pill 3 times a day to help like clear up the infection. So by Monday I still wasn't feeling great, but I was feeling a lot better than I did on Saturday, and even a little better than I felt on Sunday. So I was like, I'll go into work, like I really don't want to have to call out. And I'm glad I did that because of what happened that week. So Monday was fine, it was a normal day for me at work. But Tuesday, I had woke up with really bad reflux. Now, I've had reflux for like years at this point, just like depending on like what I eat, obviously. But I don't know, it was just like really bad reflux. But I didn't know if I could take a Zantac, like I didn't know if that would affect the clindamycin that I was taking. So I didn't want to take one. So I went to work and it had gone away, but then when I had eaten lunch, which I think was still like, we still had like leftover ravioli, so I was just like eating that because it was soft and I could eat it. I got it again, and I had just put a little butter on it, so like it was weird. Like I never have gotten like reflux from like raviolis, and it's not even like I had like red sauce on it, so it was weird. And I don't know, I just had like pretty bad reflux that day, so I was like, alright, whatever. Then on Wednesday I had it again, and I had talked to Joey about it on Tuesday, and I was like, if I took Zantac, like, would that affect like the clindamycin? And he said no. He's an MA medical assistant, certified medical assistant, CMA. So he was like, no, that won't affect it, like you can take that. So we have Zantac, so I took one on Wednesday because I think I took one Wednesday before work, like when I got it, like after I had eaten, because like I got reflux after breakfast, and then I took it again Wednesday night. It was really bad. Like we watched Chicago Med on Wednesdays at 8. If anyone else knows Chicago Med, really good show. So we were watching Chicago Med, and I had it really bad, where like literally like right in the middle of my chest. It was like the worst reflux I had ever had. So I had taken another Zantac, and you know, after about a half an hour, it had helped, but it's still like, it didn't take it like completely away. Like it was like burning. But it definitely was a lot better. So I was just like laying, like switching between like laying down and sitting up. And I just like wasn't feeling good at all. So I went to the bathroom. I think I was like about to go to bed, and I went to the bathroom, and I had like, this is TMI, but like we go there on my channel sometimes because this is real life and this is my life, so I'm gonna share it with you. So not diarrhea, but it was definitely loose. So like I was like, great, like this is not good. And also, like, the stomach virus has been going around my school for weeks. I thought it was done because the last kid who had it had it like a week prior, and it was like a 24-hour thing, and he was gone the next day. So, like, you know, it's a room I've been going in, but like I thought it was gone. And like he threw up in the room, but they had bleached the room and like opened up the windows, like aired it out, but I don't know. You can still catch things. Like, it doesn't mean you're like immune, and clearly I wasn't. So it was probably around like 10, 15, and I like still wasn't feeling good. And I had that whole bathroom situation, and like when I don't feel good, I don't know like if this happens to anyone else, but sometimes like if I really don't feel good, my body will just start shaking. It's like I can't help it, like I can't control it, I just start like shaking uncontrollably. And that was happening. So I was sitting up, drinking water, my heart like starts to pound, my heart beats like very irregular, I get like white, like it was bad. So I had bought my mom Pepto-Bismol back like a couple months because she had like a stomach bug, like a 24-hour thing. So Joey went and got it and told me to take some, and like usually that stuff works, so I took it. Probably like 5-10 minutes later, I end up running to the bathroom, throwing up in the sink like twice. Not like a lot, but like threw up my dinner and like the Pepto-Bismol that I had just taken. So I was like, great, like felt better. So I was doing okay. Then I had diarrhea, and this time it was like straight up diarrhea. So that was fun. So I was feeling better, but I still didn't feel great. So then about an hour later, I end up throwing up again, and this time I threw up like 3 times, and it was like still like on my dinner, and we had like little pigs in a blanket, so it was like the hot dog, the puff pastry, and like corn on the side. So it was like chunky. I know, gross, but like this is the truth. And I couldn't like make it to the toilet, like even though obviously my toilet is like right next to my bathroom sink, like I couldn't make it there. So I threw up in the sink, and then it like clogged up the sink, and Joey had to plunge it and then bleach it. It was like all bad. So it was pretty much terrible. And then I had like more diarrhea, so it was pretty much like I'd have diarrhea, then throw up, and then have diarrhea, and then throw up. So it was horrible. So I threw up, and then like I had diarrhea, and then Joey had some nausea medicine that he gave me. So I took that. Then when I felt okay, I laid down. It was probably around like midnight at this point, or like close to 1 a.m. when I had finally laid down. Oh, and in between all this, one of the times I like was having diarrhea, I also realized I had gotten my period, so like that was just like the icing on the cake. So I finally lay down at like 1 a.m., sleep for like not even 2 hours, wake up feeling like nauseous, and I'm trying to drink water to keep it down because I just like don't want to throw up again, because obviously like nobody likes throwing up, so, and I hate it. So I was just drinking water and sitting up, just trying to keep it down. But after like an hour, ended up throwing up again 3 more times, and I threw up in, like, we have like this pink bucket, so I had that with me, so I was just sitting here throwing up, and that time it was like mostly water, because I'm pretty sure like all the food was out of my system at that point, and it was just like the water that I had drank. So I was like so over it, like I was like sweaty, and I just felt like terrible. I think I might have ended up having diarrhea again, I don't even remember, honestly. And then I was able to like go to bed probably like within a half hour, an hour. Woke up at 7, so that was probably around like 4 or like close to 5 it was closer to 5 I went to bed. woke up at 7 to call out of work because obviously I had slept like maybe 4 hours and was throwing up and having diarrhea all night. Like, there was no way I was going into work. So it was just terrible. Joey had given me some more nausea medicine. So I was at like 7 because he was up getting ready for work. Then my brother went to the pharmacy for me to get me Pedialyte because obviously I was like super dehydrated from having diarrhea and throwing up all night. And I was able to get like a prescription for nausea medicine, so it was like, you know, a higher strength, I guess you could say. So he picked that up. Actually, he accidentally picked me up the wrong prescription because I had another prescription that was already done. So then he came home and was like, okay, here's your stuff. And I was like, no, this is like the wrong thing. So then I ended up having to go. I brought the bucket with me, but like thankfully I was okay. But I was still having like diarrhea. Like, so I didn't end up vomiting anymore after like the 3:45 in the morning one. But I was still having diarrhea. Like, before I left to go to Walgreens, I had it. While I was there, like, because I had to wait for the medicine for like 10 minutes, and like I felt like I was gonna have it, but I was able to wait till like I got home and then like had it again. So like all day Thursday I was like having it. It was just terrible. And then like half of the day Friday I was having it. Like, I had to call out of work again on Friday because I was having it until like probably 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So it was just really bad. But I had the nausea pills, and so I wasn't throwing up, so that was good. So because I was sick on Thursday and Friday, and like I couldn't really keep anything down like Wednesday night into Thursday, and like the clindamycin is like very strong, so, and you have to take it with like large meals, and all I ate Thursday and Friday was like Thursday and Friday, actually, yeah. I had scrambled eggs for breakfast, just like 2 scrambled eggs, plain. And then for dinner, I had like chicken nuggets. Like these little like Purdue, like the little popcorn chicken. I had like that for dinner. So I was only eating 2 times a day, and you're supposed to take it 3 times a day. But like, I was just scared to eat, because after that happens, like, you're afraid you're not gonna be able to keep anything down. So I really like wasn't eating enough to take the medicine, and I was having like diarrhea and like, you know, vomiting Wednesday into Thursday, so like I just didn't want to take the medicine. So I didn't take it, and I was just drinking Pedialyte and water. So it was just a rough, like, that whole week was just really rough. So that was last week. No, that was like 2 weeks ago now, right? Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, not last week, but the week before. So it was just rough. And then I went back to the dentist on Saturday so they could look at everything, and it was still infected, and I had told the dentist that I wasn't able to take the medicine Thursday and Friday because I had the stomach bug. So I said I only took 5 out of the 7 days, and she said when I was feeling better to just like finish the medicine. So I ended up taking it Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. So I finished it, but it doesn't matter because my teeth are still not really great. I guess they have to do what is it called? An apico on my top tooth, which is the worst one, the one with the abscess. So I guess they like take out the bone. I don't really know if anyone watching this is like a dentist or like dental student or whatever, like you probably know. If not, you can like look it up, because I had to, because I was like, I don't know. Like, the dentist explained it to me, but then when I got home to tell my family, like, I didn't really remember what she said, so like we just looked it up. So, and I need like 2 crowns on my teeth because I don't know, like, I don't know what's going on. It's just all bad. And honestly, I said this in my last video, but like, seriously, take care of your teeth. Like, I don't think I'm allowed to floss at least like this area, because like the root canals I have, or whatever I have, it's just like temporary fillings. Like, and I thought they were gonna take them out at the following appointment and like put in like the permanent root canals, but I guess they're putting in crowns, so like I don't really know. But just like seriously take care of your teeth. Like brush your teeth at least twice a day, 3 times if you want to be safe. Floss, use mouthwash, like all that stuff, because this is like not fun. And I don't even have a problem with like needles or like, you know, dental work, like whatever. Like obviously it's a little uncomfortable, but like this is like, tooth pain is like some of the worst pain that I've experienced. Like I got my gallbladder out and like I was fine. I feel like even my wisdom teeth, like, I mean the recovery was like kind of shitty, but like I didn't cry, so like it definitely wasn't as bad as this. So just take care of your teeth, and that's just my little PSA of the day. So hope you guys like this video, even though it wasn't really a fun story to tell. That's just my life update of what's been going on. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week, and hopefully have something more exciting to talk about or share with you guys. Bye guys.